Yummy. Yummy.
Common Good TV show. The Common Good TV show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor. The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain, here flying the plane Solamente. So if I fall asleep, we're crashing. We are crashing. But I'm going to stay awake. I'm going to stay awake because we have an excellent show for you today, as I promise you always. But this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if I did not give grace and give thanks to a very loving Father that allows me to be here with our amazing guests. And I usually think with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And I'll say this to the associate producers that's off the screen, Martin. I stumbled on that part of forgiving those who trespass against us, because that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one. But I'm going to continue to work on it, because I know God continues to forgive me for my trespasses. I'm so thankful. But that being said, I want to introduce our listening audience to two amazing women that I'm getting the good fortune to get to know better and better as time goes on. And they're doing, man, if they're not doing God's work, I certainly do not know what God's work looks like, because as I've told on the show on many occasions, we had a 72-year-old Marine named Rodney in our program with dementia that literally I found with nothing in the park. And we were, blessed, took care of him by committee at our homeless veteran transition program for a year and a half, kind of got him everything he needed to get him squared away, so much that I got him placed into an assisted living facility myself, as if I was his own son. But if I would have found, this organization sooner, and I found, known these ladies sooner, they would have saved me probably a lot of time, maybe months, possibly years of trying to figure this out on my own, rather than getting with the professionals and having them navigate the navigator. Mm-hmm. So I say all that to say, welcome to the show, Kimberly Shara and Sophia Siddle with Arizona Choice Home Care Solutions.
Thank you.
Man, yeah. So as I kind of prefaced, certainly having you guys as assistants earlier in my life would have been helpful, not only with my buddy Rodney, but I have 96, 97-year-old grandparents in Georgia whom our family fumbled through kind of getting them into assisted living or just getting them assisted care. Now having met you, I realized we could have maybe had someone take care of them in their house for much longer than we did, but I just didn't even know. But explain to me and our audience, again, what is the Arizona Choice Home Care Solutions and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so we're a home care agency here in Tucson. We are non-medical. Our main goal is to keep your loved ones at home, independent. I'd like to say that we're the bridge between independent living and assisted living. Mm-hmm. Using a home care agency can keep you at home for as long as possible. You thrive in your own environment, but providing in-home care, things like personal care, grooming, toileting, transportation, meal prepping, medication, really everything that you do on the daily. Mm-hmm. You have support, and that's what we do.
Nice. And I know, because you told me, this month we have Caregiver Appreciation Day, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, February 21st.
February 21st. And so what would you say would be, and this is probably not just the February 21st day, but year round, what is Arizona Choice Home Care Solutions role in supporting the caregivers with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, not only do we support our team of caregivers, but
Mhm.
we like to support family caregivers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, gosh, Sophie and I were just having a conversation about this today about how we can support our community in that sense. And I think the first point would be recognizing that you need support at home. We provide respite care. So having a caregiver come and having your in-home caregiver take a break.
Mm-hmm.
So providing that and definitely acknowledging that you need help.
Yeah. Yeah, and we tickled on it a little bit last time we had you guys on the show in regards to caregiver burnout and how this is something kind of, maybe not spoken enough about, or particularly among the caregiver population, not something that they recognize within themselves enough, and therefore, there you are, you're burnt out by it. What is Arizona Choice Home Care Solution doing to help kind of minimize that or help just bring awareness to that this is a thing?
So we really want families to first acknowledge that it's okay to take a break. I think that's the first step. Is we feel like we have to put our all in, right? We 24/7 care. We're there to provide that care. When are you stopping to take a break for yourself? So we're really reminding families that they need to take a break and bring in, whether it's a family member, a friend, an agency such as ourselves, seeking out a day program. First step is recognizing that. And we're there to kind of point that out, kind of say, okay, when was the last time you went and got your hair done? When was the last time you went and took care of yourself? Those are ways that we get involved and point it out. It's easy to not realize as a family member that you're becoming burnout. You're not taking care of yourself until someone else points it out to you.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's it's kind of like delineation, or this transition point that you're speaking of is something that I'm glad that we have the opportunity to kind of flush out more and more as we have me on the show, because like you're saying, for the longest time, whether it was Rodney at our transition center or my grandparents at their house, we took care of them by committee, like as a family, whether it was our village at Veteran Rescue Mission or our literal family there in Georgia. And we didn't know how to wean ourselves off of us taking care of them, or that primary family members taking care of them, to how do we integrate caregiver into that system. So I guess speak to that too a little bit. One, about, okay, how to make it so that family member doesn't feel so bad about their being burnt out and not being able to do as much as they're able to do anymore. And what does that process look like for integrating a caregiver into that system of care for that family member that they've been taken care of by committee for so long?
Well, just because you're recognizing that you need help doesn't mean that you don't love the person you're taking care of any less. So integrating that would be calling a home care agency, looking to see if, I don't know, Sophie.
So really it was a good question, but it kind of stumped me. It's hard. You said it, nail on the head. Families don't want to walk away. That first step looks like, let's just get you taken care of. We may not be able to address the pressure point of when you're most taking care of your family member. Let's say they need the most care overnight. Family member may not be willing to give up that overnight care for us to do it. Let's come in and do 3 hours of respite during the day. They're going to see that benefit almost immediately. I had a wife tell me the first week of services, I need to switch to nights because this is such a benefit. I need overnight care so I can sleep. And she just recognized immediately that it just takes that first step to get someone in there.
Well, and you kind of have that mentality of, I'm the caregiver, I've been the caregiver, I know what that person likes, I know what they do, I know their schedule. And to have a stranger come in and kind of take that over, I think it's hard to let go.
It's intimidating. Absolutely.
I mean, and it makes sense actually what you're saying, because even right now as we're sitting, I had to relinquish a few hours to the babysitter. So our 18-month-old, because she couldn't be in the studio with us while we were recording this show. But that integrating that process of having that babysitter come once a week, spending 3 or 4 hours with her, and not only can I come do this, but maybe I'll stop at the grocery store, get a little time to myself afterwards. But it's tough, but necessary. So it definitely makes perfect sense how the first step is just making that call and seeing kind of, okay, where can it fit, and how does that work? And that being said, what number can they call, and how can they reach you guys to utilize your services?
Absolutely. They can call 520-900-8757. They can email myself, Kimberly, at azchoicehomecare.com, Sophia at azchoicehomecare.com.
Nice. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. And you guys listening, give them a call, check them out, have them come by, see how they can help you out. And definitely next time we get a 72-year-old Marine with dementia in our organization, that'll be the first call I make.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Kimberly and Sophia with Arizona Choice Home Care Solutions. You guys stay right there. We will be back after the break. Don't forget to wash behind your ears, because if you don't, that's gross. We'll be back.